Yo, what's going on, guys? So before I get into today's topic, I'm just going to give a little overview of what I'm using. So I'm running the MP5 with a class setup I don't really recommend. It's extremely slow, and that's not how the MP5 is supposed to be. However, this thing is super good at long range, and you can see some of the later kills and stuff. But yeah, so moving on to our actual topic today, I want to talk about the kind of this PC versus console kind of debate, and I want to give my point of view on it because I don't really understand it. And yeah, so we're just going to dive right in. So I've always been on the console platform. I went from the original PlayStation to the original Xbox, then to the 360, and then after the 360, where it was like nobody really knew what to get, and especially with my friend group. And honestly, the only reason I got a PlayStation 4 at the time was because I wanted to play with my friends because they all went to PS4. So for me, that was like the selling point. And now, a lot of games are getting crossplay and stuff, so the consoles are not too different. And with all the hardware and stuff, there's really only so much that can do. Like, if you've seen all this new gameplay stuff come out, honestly, they look almost identical. Like, you see the Xbox Series X or whatever that silly name is. Nothing against Xbox, but I don't really understand the name. But then you look at the PlayStation 5. I mean, honestly, like, to me, I can't tell a difference. And I know some people are like super sticklers about it, but honestly, the only thing I care about is not having to wait like for super long loading times, because I think that's the biggest thing with this generation of consoles is like the super long load times. But I think the gap has kind of been closed with the PlayStation and Xbox. However, I want to talk about, the PC, where it comes in, because I do have experience on PC. Now, I do not own a PC, but I spent a good amount of time playing on them from playing at my friends' houses and stuff. And I'm actually pretty good on the PC considering I've never had one. And I think it's just because like I understand like first-person shooters. If I was to like go into a competitive scene, I would obviously wouldn't do good. But in like a casual kind of game mode, like I played Counter-Strike a lot, and I was very good at Counter-Strike. But I'm sure if I went into rank mode, I would just get completely destroyed. Just because I mean I don't have the experience for that game. Like I don't know everything about it, and like for me, my biggest thing was the aim. Like I did have pretty good aim once I figured out the sensitivity, because that was like the biggest thing for me. But some different things kind of came in, and honestly, I think the biggest is like the movement. For me, the movement was like my biggest challenge because I just didn't quite understand, like the buttons, and I just it wasn't like muscle memory for me, so I really had to think about it. And over time, I got way better. But here's where I kind of want to jump in. So there's always people, like fighting on the internet about what's better, PC or console, and it's always so ridiculous to me. Like, it's honestly just video games. I mean, sure, if you're like a graphics buff and that's all you care about, like, great. PC's got really good graphics, but when you sit there and you just like fight other people on the internet, like, what are you doing? You're really not getting anywhere, and you're not going to convince that person that to switch to PC, because at that point you've just made the person that plays on console so mad you don't want to play in PC. And then if you're doing the same thing like with console for whatever reason, like I don't know, maybe there's games or something on the PlayStation or the Xbox that the PC doesn't have. I don't know. Like, don't sit there and attack people. It truly makes no sense. And I see this stuff all the time. Uh, you know, I don't have as many like PC friends, but I mean I do have PC friends, and they always like mess around and say like, you know, console plebs or something like that. When in reality, I know they're joking. But then there's people like if you play a random search and destroy lobby and you're playing against a bunch of like PC players, they are just gonna start talking like mad trash, like, oh, you're a console peasant, all this stuff, and it's like, dude, I've literally played with a controller my whole life. I don't want to spend like $2,000 on a PC. Yeah, it's just not my thing. I just don't really want it. I mean, yeah, you can use a controller on PC if you have like a scuff or something. You can just plug it in. But I don't need that. I don't need to spend $2,000 on something where I can spend like 400, 500 and have the same thing. Like the PlayStation 5's coming out. I'm gonna get that. I'm not gonna go buy a thousand, $2,000 PC. For me personally, I just don't care, and I think people need to stop caring so much. Like, just play the game. If you play the game, like that's what matters. Like, if you're playing with each other, everybody's kind of merged together now. We have cross-platform on Call of Duty. Like, that's the good thing. And kind of jumping into the next thing is people complaining about aim assist, and I just want to explain something like from a console player's perspective. So when like a PC player complains about aim assist, you know, I know some games like Fortnite, the aim assist is insane, and I've seen like videos and stuff of that. But however, with Call of Duty, I don't think it's as big of a deal. And I, you know, if you were to try to play Call of Duty without aim assist on like any regular gun, you know, if you're using a sniper, you might can get away with it because there was this time period in COD history, like Black Ops 3, where they took aim assist off snipers, and people were still good with the snipers. But if you were to use like a normal gun, like the MP5, it would be so unbearable. Like when you try to aim with these joysticks, these small joysticks with limited ranges of motion, you're all over the place. You literally can't do it. So like, if you're a PC player, just try hopping on a controller and turning off aim assist and see how it is, and then put on aim assist and see like, okay, wait, this is why they have it. Because I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say like console is better than PC. I'm not going to say PC players are better than console. You know, I'm not saying any of that. I'm just saying like you got to understand how hard it is to aim without aim assist on like these honestly small joysticks. You know, like it's kind of crazy. I mean, if I could have the luxury of having both PC and console, I would absolutely do it. I would 100% do it. But you know, financially, that's not in my like budget. I'm not just going to sit there and drop all that money on it. But yeah, to me, the gap is so close now between consoles and PC. Judging from experience, you know, just playing. I think field of view is something that's awesome on PCs, but just everything else, like the graphics are catching up, especially with next gen. I mean, I just don't know how much better the PC is going to get compared to consoles. I mean, I don't think consoles will ever be necessarily at the same level until they get to like $1,000. You know, I think eventually the consoles are going to start costing as much as PCs. You know, maybe that's in a few years or a couple generations. I mean, I think one day it's going to be like that. Like everything is going to kind of level out. But you know, honestly, that's just like this is just a quick take for me. I was seeing some people arguing online about it. I was on Twitter, and I don't like Twitter's a battleground for all sorts of people defending what they like. So I mean, I just really wanted to do a short video, kind of talking about my opinion on the whole debate. Like honestly, if you're playing on whatever platform you're playing on, ball out, and you know that's pretty much it. But as always, if you like this video, drop a comment, leave a like, and you know, subscribe for more content like this.
Oh, we lost because of it too. Look at that shit.
Hard forward.
Nuke on your team still.
Oh, one of y'all had got it.
54-1, huh?